Hello, students. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Sergiu.
Maria, how is your life here in Moldova?
Sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's difficult.
What is the biggest challenge you have here?
My biggest challenge is I miss my family and my friends from the States.
Do you keep in touch with them? How do you communicate with them?
Of course, we keep in touch daily. Sometimes we use WhatsApp, Viber, Facebook, but I have my many other friends and partners and we communicate by email. During holidays, I send them postcards and etc.
Today I would like to talk about writing effective emails or letters.
Every email you write has the basic structure: subject line, greeting, email body, and closing. But as with every written form of professional communication, there's a right way to do it and standards that should be followed. Here's how to write a proper email.
Don't over-communicate by email. One of the biggest sources of stress at work is the sheer volume of emails that people receive. So, before you begin writing an email, ask yourself, is this really necessary?
Make good use of subject lines. A newspaper headline has two functions. It grabs your attention and it summarizes the article so that you can decide whether to read it or not. The subject line of your email message should do the same.
Keep messages clear and brief. Emails, like traditional business letters, need to be clear and concise. Keep your sentences short and to the point. The body of the email should be direct and informative, and it should contain all pertinent information.
Be polite. People often think that emails can be less formal than traditional letters, but the messages you send are a reflection of your own professionalism, your values, and attention to detail. So a certain level of formality is needed. Close your message with regards, yours sincerely, or all the best, depending on the situation.
Check the tone. When we meet people face to face, we use the other person's body language, vocal tone, and facial expressions to assess how they feel. Email robs us of this information, and this means that we can't tell when people have misunderstood our messages. Your choice of words, sentence length, punctuation, and capitalization can easily be misinterpreted without visual and auditory cues.
Proofreading. Finally, before you hit send, take a moment to review your email for spelling, grammar, and punctuation mistakes. Your email messages are as much a part of your professional image as the clothes you wear, so it looks bad to send out a message that contains typos. As you proofread, pay careful attention to the length of your email. People are more likely to read short, concise emails than long, rambling ones, so make sure that your emails are as short as possible, without excluding necessary information.
A mail letter must be sent with the same rules, isn't it?
Yes, the letters send your spelling, your attitude, and handwriting. There are many people who prefer to send and receive letters versus mail.
There is a short story about a man, Ray Buffin, who liked to receive letters. Do you know anything about him?
Yes, I read this story. In general, almost everybody likes to receive mail, and perhaps nobody in the whole town of Stillwater liked to get letters more than Ray Buffin did. But unfortunately, Ray received fewer letters in his box at the post office than anybody else.
One afternoon, after watching Ray Buffin waiting for a letter at the post office, two of the younger men in town, Guy Hodge and Ralph Barnhill, decided to play a joke on him. Their plan was to ask a girl in town to send Ray a love letter without signing it, and then somebody else was to take the letter out of his hand and read it aloud for everybody to hear. They asked Grace Brooks, the night switch operator at the telephone company, to write the letter.
At first, Grace said she would have nothing to do with their plan. Suddenly, she turned away. She didn't want the young men to see her crying. Late at night, she wrote the letter.
The next day, Guy and Ralph were in the post office at 4 o'clock. When Ray came in and saw a letter in his box, he looked at it in surprise. He couldn't believe his eyes. He opened the box, took out the pale blue envelope, and went to the corner of the room to read it.
The moment Guy and Ralph understood what had happened, they ran after him trying to stop him, but it was too late. Ray hurried around the corner to the telephone office. When Ray and Guy followed him, they found Ray and Grace together.
And what's the idea?
Do well and have well.
All is well that ends well.
Let's see where these three characters and what are the adjectives that best describe them.
Okay, Guy and Ralph.
Sly, inventive, jocular, reckless, humorous, adventurous, and cheerful.
Ray.
Faithful, indecisive, timid, reliable, sentimental, patient, and loyal.
Grace.
Naive, honest, proud, thoughtful, attractive, sensitive, and lovable.
Okay.
Students, after reading, try to answer the following questions.
What is the conflict in the story? How is it resolved?
What are the time and setting of the story?
Why do you think the author named the town Stillwater?
If you had found yourself in a situation similar to the one faced by the main characters, would you have reacted in the same way?
As you said earlier, while writing a letter or an email, take a moment to review your email for spelling, grammar, and punctuation mistakes.
That's why we continue reviewing the grammar about the present perfect tense.
Present perfect. The present perfect is formed from the present tense of the verb have and the past participle of a verb. We use the present perfect for something that started in the past and continues in the present.
They have been married for nearly 50 years. She has lived in Liverpool all her life.
When we are talking about our experience up to the present.
I've seen that film before. I've played the guitar ever since I was a teenager. He has written 3 books and he is working on another one.
We often use the adverb ever to talk about experience up to the present.
My last birthday was the worst day I have ever had.
And we use never for the negative form.
Have you ever met George? Yes, but I have never met his wife.
For something that happened in the past but is important in the present.
I can't get in the house. I've lost my keys. Teresa isn't at home. I think she has gone shopping.
Dear students, we think you are going to write correctly the letters and the emails.
Pay attention to all details.
Goodbye.
Thank you.